Bloodthirsty terrorist Benjamin Netanyahu took his barbarism to a new height today when his gang of terrorists slaughtered 9 children of a doctor couple in a single bomb attack. Let me repeat. Bloodthirsty terrorist Netanyahu's terrorists massacred 9 out of 10 children of a doctor couple. The youngest one to be brutally murdered by the Israeli medieval gang was just 6 months old. 6 months! What kind of evil forces deliberately massacre 9 children whose parents have been saving lives as part of their duty? The Israeli barbarity also left the father severely injured. He doesn't know yet that he's lost 9 of his 10 children to the barbarism of a rogue settler colony. If this doesn't boil your blood, nothing will. Sky News' Alex Rossi rightly put it when he said this.
Emergency workers rushing to the site of another airstrike. Israeli bombs do not discriminate between young and old.
In other words, Israeli terrorists have been killing people indiscriminately. Hamas was never their target. As I said in my previous video, their target has always been to erase Palestinians from the map, from the history, from the civilization. A British doctor, Graham Groom, who has been in Gaza treating the victims of Israeli massacres, called it unbearable cruelty when he spoke to the BBC.
This little boy appeared with a terrible wound to his left arm. And it was as he arrived in theatre that we heard the story that he was the sole survivor of 10 brothers and sisters, that his father was dreadfully injured, and that the only uninjured member of his family was his mother. Both his parents are doctors, both work at the NASA Medical Complex. His father is a physician who is very badly injured with a penetrating injury to his head. And that was the background, and that was so unbelievably tragic that we did what was necessary for him. When folk are involved in bomb blasts, he had his left arm was just about hanging off. He was covered in fragment injuries, and he had several substantial lacerations. He was quite a small 11-year-old, and of course, if both parents were doctors, he would be amongst the privileged group within Gaza. But as we lifted him onto the operating table, he felt much younger than 11. Our colleagues, our Palestinian colleagues, are unbelievably resilient, and I have the utmost admiration for their discipline and professionalism. And so last night, we just got on with the job. But as I'm sure you might imagine, there was a ghastly pall hanging over all of us, really, to think of yet another family that has been almost completely wiped out. We know that there are many, many families in Gaza, more than 3,000, who've been obliterated completely. We also know that there are more than 4,000 families that have a single survivor. And it's not impossible that this family, there will only be 2 survivors from this family. Our little boy should survive. We don't know about his father. And I think it's unbearably cruel that his mother, who is a pediatrician and has spent her professional life carrying 4 children could lose almost all her own in a single bomb or missile strike, as well as her husband. It's such a monstrous evil that an entire family should be destroyed.
Only a couple of days ago, the world was reacting to the killing of two Zionists. What will the same people have to say now on this cold-blooded murder of 9 children, including a 6-month-old baby? I will keep repeating this. 6-month-old baby. Can you imagine the cruelty of these Israeli thugs? They slaughtered these babies when their mother, a pediatrician, was busy saving lives. I did not see what happened in the Second World War. But surely the brutalities committed by Netanyahu and his mad dogs and being live streams on our mobile devices are unmatched. I do not think anyone in history would have been more barbaric than these Israelis. Now the Starmers, Macrons, and Carneys of the world have to decide if they must remain mute spectators and be on the wrong side of history or act swiftly to stop these terrorists from causing more bloodshed. Donald Trump also has to take a call now. Should he continue to remain silent since a bloodthirsty Zionist had donated him $100 million to fund his election campaign, or he should walk the talk and play his part to punish Netanyahu, who is anyway wanted by the International Criminal Court for war crimes? Trump has been bragging about being a man of peace. Now is the time for him to walk the talk. Or he also has the option to continue funding this genocide and engrave his name in the list of those whose barbarism caused the gruesome murders of thousands of children and babies using American bombs. It's also time for Americans and Britishers and French and Canadians to raise their voice against their politicians and elected representatives. Write to them, ambush them, call them. These corrupt and compromised politicians have transformed the whole of the West into a rogue society. These politicians should act firmly and immediately or be stopped by their constituents from funding a rogue regime. What has happened in the last 19 plus months and what happened today must be a permanent blot on the so-called Western civilization. Netanyahu, along with his other terrorist members of his cabinet, should be arrested immediately, chained, and locked up in a dungeon so that they are never able to come out and pose threat to a civilized society. Throw Israel out of the UN. Ban its players and athletes from all competitions. What are you waiting for now? You punish South Africa for far lesser crimes. You punish Russia for far lesser crimes. Why are you not acting now? Have you all become evil? Can you imagine the pain of these Gaza children? Sociopaths like Netanyahu first starved them for months. And when they still don't die of hunger, he unleashes his barbarism by dropping American bombs. The ultimate aim is to cause a large-scale massacre. Everything else is a hogwash. If you live in the US, the UK, Canada, France, or other European countries and are able to have a sound sleep after watching the videos of these babies' massacres, then you too have turned into sociopaths and you all have become living corpses. That's the truth, whether or not you like it. Anyway, thank you very much for your support of this platform and our journalism on buymeacoffee.com and Patreon. If you do think that our journalism is worth supporting, then you too should become part of it. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, because that's one of the many ways you can support independent journalism. I don't know what I'm saying. It just, you can't be all right after watching this video. You simply can't be all right. God bless you all.